G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a Junkie's Prime Crossbow with plus 10% damage whilst aiming and 25% less VATS action point cost per shot, major and minor legendary effects respectively. And it's not a terrible setup of legendary effects on a crossbow because obviously the Junkie's giving you a decent amount of damage added when you've got all of the diction set up, but using this thing inside and outside of VATS is going to be quite beneficial to you. Obviously if you play to the thing strength, aim down sights, as you shoot things you'll get extra damage, and if you want to use this thing in VATS you've always got that reduction to fall back on, so versatility is where this weapon stands, and hopefully we'll make use of that as we go along. So we've got the prime frame here doing 87 damage, which is pretty meh to be honest, but whatever, we'll keep on going. Now, you might notice how in my perception tree I've got ground pounder. This is because this thing fires arrows or bolts, which doesn't actually work with concentrated fire, so that'll be completely dead weight. And whilst the ground pounder perk says automatic rifles, I've found that the semi-automatic rifles, which this weapon is actually classed as for some reason, don't ask me how, it's odd logic, but yeah, we can actually make use out of that, which is going to be great because this thing only has one shot, and reloading this is going to be constant, so having that, you know, go extra fast is good. Also, the hipfire accuracy would be nice if you want to aim down, if we don't want to aim down sights, which we kind of don't want to because, you know, we've got a reason to aim down sights, but honestly the sights of this weapon aren't actually that good, so probably won't be using the Hitman's legendary effect all that much because the sights are so bad, but we'll chuck on the rifleman perks and then we'll move over to luck. I have to use my keys here because if I even dare to click on these things out of, like, if I want to go from luck to perception, I have to hammer this goddamn mouse button one to get over there, so I have to use the keys there, but yeah, bloody mess goes on, which gives us 160 damage, so that's almost doubled, and obviously it's a Junkie's weapon, so let's just get some addictions. I think I've got one more booze on me somewhere. Okay, sorry for the change of scenery, but apparently you have to drink more alcohol than usual to become addicted to it, so yeah, thanks for letting me know, game. So we've got the alcohol addiction, we'll go for some day tripper. Nope, okay, 4 was enough for that. Some buff out, why not? Some fury, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and mentats, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, bastard. Anyways, so now we're doing 240 or 224. Yeah, 240 with all of the addictions which are listed here. Alrighty, so here we are at the jungle. We've got fun and games here, and here's my special stats. Normally I'd balance out the special debuffs with using my unyielding armor, but I've decided not to. We don't have any adrenal reaction to our name now to boost our damage, so yeah, 240 is what it's going to be for now, but we'll see in due time whether we get shot at and, you know, raise the damage up. Now, just like any other suppressed rifle in the game, what you can do is chuck on, nice shot there, you can chuck on Mr. Sandman, and then you can chuck on Covert Operative after that, and then you get the 3.7 times multipliers, 3.75 times multipliers. Yeah, okay, one thing to note about these projectiles is that there's a bit of bullet travel time, which, you know, if you're on a server that, you know, isn't local to you, you'll have trouble with, and if you're not on a private server where things run so much more smoother than what they would normally, then you're going to have a bad time. It's going to be a pain in the ass. Keep in mind, however, that these projectiles don't have any, like, drop, so they always fly in a straight trajectory, which is kind of odd, but that might have been done for either ease of use or just easier for the server to calculate where they're actually going. 365, that's the amount of days that are not in a leap year, so that's kind of cool, right? As in, like, days of the year, a leap year has got a little bit more in. So if I aim at this guy at a pretty much flat trajectory, it'll eventually get there. There's no drop whatsoever, so you don't need to actually compensate for the gravity pulling your thing down. And also, I'm wearing this dress that they brought out in the atomic shop today, and yep, that is why I'm going to be using sneak criticals for this, because we can't actually kill them in one shot without them, so I guess stealth archery is how we're going to do this. Nice, you can still get through those with the projectiles. I'm just going to continue suppressing him with my crossbow, because that's what they're used for, right? Suppressing enemy positions back in the the trenches of World War I. People just lined up with crossbows all bloody day. So even if I go for headshots, I'm still not going to be killing them in one. So yeah, no deal. When using a ranged Junkie's weapon, you could probably prioritize getting some of the debuffs that, I mean, if you're going for a stealth approach, you could prioritize some of the debuffs like Psycho and the Med-X addictions, because they both drop your damage resistance by 10, but damage resistance, you won't even need it. Interesting. Yeah, sometimes this thing acts a little bit weirdly, and now I'm in the danger, so that's not good. Yeah, right, I've got fireproof, mate, that ain't gonna work. And apparently I've come down, so oops. It'd be cool if your character got some sort of, I don't know, some skins on them. Why aren't I going back into sneakiness? Probably because my agility isn't as high as it usually is. I've got a solution to that. We're gonna have a bath, just for a bit. That'll do. Let me out of here, please. Yep. And here we go, we're away. That is going to make our stealth game a little bit easier from now on. Also, will increase our damage somewhat, to the point where I can hit that guy for 3,200 in the face. Obviously with a sneak critical though. Still wouldn't bother using this thing without it, that's for sure, but I mean, what crossbow can you use with the sneak criticals? And this is kind of a thing made for it. Obviously, Bethesda knows how good stealth arching is in Skyrim, so they're like, you know what, let's add this in Fallout 76, and then we're like, yeah, what a great idea. Especially when there's other weapons exist that A, are hit scan, have more than one round before you have to reload, and have sights that you can actually use, because what is this? There's no front post to angle it up with. I don't care how realistic it is to, you know, not have that front post on a crossbow. Surely you would, right? Just to line it up with. I think it's right there. Yeah, it is right there. Obviously, the game's it's acknowledging how the bolts fly in a strictly ballistic path, so you can't actually use the little front prong down the barrel to actually. Would I even call it a barrel? On the end of the gun. You can't line that up because it'd be pointless to do it anyway, but whatever. I wouldn't think that there'd be people lining up to make a immersive crossbows mod where crossbows have drop, because that would just make them more useless than they kind of are. See, when I'm thinking of using a rifleman weapon, I'm thinking maybe lever gun. You get away with a Gauss rifle, or just like a handmade with a semi-auto receiver. This is just too slow. I'm not going to waste too much of your time by, you know, rounding up the ones in the cage match hell room, but I think you get the idea anyway. If we've got ourselves enamored with stealth, like we usually do, 1776, it's got 76 in it, so, you know, it's a reference to the game itself, so this might actually be the most Fallout 76 weapon ever. You never even know. What are the odds of that? I've got just enough adrenal reaction to push that. I'm sitting under nerd rage, so it's just going to be sitting right there. And damage versus aiming down sights and then not aiming down sights. I suppose I'll show you that on the next set of targets. And no, there will never be a queen tested with a crossbow. This thing is simply too slow to actually do anything versus a queen. I might have to grab Enforcer on this character just to drop it to the ground, so I've actually got a better chance of hitting it. But yeah, even still, this thing is just too slow to be useful. This Radroach is annoying me, so I'm going to prioritize hitting him. Ooh, we can't even actually one-shot the tools with this thing. Ah, I reckon we could if we were aiming down sights though. There we go, we found the use of Hitman's legendary effect. I just gotta, you know, hit them. Okay, now we're in nerd rage, and that should do it. Here's why I'm saying. Here, look, we've got VATS now, and it's working. It's a lot better now. That was a pretty impressive shot, if I don't say so myself. Can't believe I missed that guy. My aim is so off today. I might just be fatigue. It's probably just fatigue. Oh well. We can't all sit around playing video games all day, can we? Oh well. We'll keep on going. And there's a little bit too many here. Luckily I can play musical chairs in the cars, but yeah, no surprise this thing ain't big on crowd control. Gonna snipe a few of these bastards though. That one's pointing at the ground. He was ready to catch that one. Really? How'd I miss that one? That's some nonsense. So I'm hitting that one for 2093, aiming down sights. 2186. So there you go. There's that extra 10% damage. It's not huge, but it works. Also, thank you for sitting there and doing nothing. Hey, 2020. That's the current year. 2055 on that one. This is thrilling gameplay. You know, I take it all back. This is great at crowd control situations. Look at this. They're not even getting close to me. It's always a good sign in crowd control situations when your enemies aren't advancing on you. Yes, perfect. Okay, we'll quickly clean up what's left of them, and then we can take on something a little bit more interesting than just random tools. Yeah, could hear you coming from a mile out, mate. There's another one. Give him the old chest shot, center mass. Easiest place to hit. There we go. I feel like there's a little bit of a shot delay on this. Not like terrible in terms of a harpoon gun shot delay, but it's there nonetheless. Okay, there is. Haha! That's what I call the ghoul bus. Because there's nothing scarier than going to school, right? Also, you can pick up the ultrasight crossbows from them. I'd imagine a plurality of these tools actually dropped me some, but honestly, I could take them or leave them. I don't really care, because crossbows are just... I mean, I need to get rid of this ammo. It's just dead weight, to be honest. Suppose I'll give you a quick look at this new dress that they brought out. It's white, and I believe Winter killed and skinned a polar bear to do it. So, you know, we don't like bears here at Captainoob. We think they're cheap, so... yeah, we endorse killing rad polar bears on this channel, because they'd be as cheap as the brown bears or black bears. Oh, we can't even one-shot Swan. Too much of it. Maybe I could have won. No, I don't think the 10% boost would have actually pushed me over the line, but you know, it's an easy kill when you're sneaky. Right, what have we got over here? Just some unscorched crabs. Sometimes they're scorched. That'd come in handy with my prime receiver here. Private receiver. Yes, this is only mine. Private receivers for private servers. Anyways, so we'll keep on shooting these guys, implying that I wouldn't. A flat 2,000 damage there. Get the clean up and about. See if we can't nail a headshot like this. There we go, 2186, not too bad. And quickly finish her off like that. Yep. Pretty easy to kill a queen like that. Would have done it quicker with a handmaid though, and that's the thing. Finally, time to use that prime receiver to get extra damage against these guys. 4396, that's pretty neat. And we can actually use this as a little bit of a sneak peek as to what this thing would actually do against us. There we go, she finally realized she was gonna die. It was kind of weird. And basically what I do here is I hit the Scorch Beast, doesn't matter with what a sneak attack critical is, and just, you know, divide that by, times that by 0.3. So you get, because the Scorch Beast Queen has like a 70% resistance factor about her. Go for a critical. We are not counting that 188 shot. That'd be bad. 2499 for that one though, so I suspect we'd be hitting for what? 30% of that? Around 500 to 600-ish. That's not terrible. You could probably make that work. It might be doing better than a pipe revolver, that's for sure. I tried one of those the other day, would you believe, and I was not impressed by it at all. It took so bloody long that the quest for the Scorched Earth failed, but for some reason Barbara stuck around out of pity, I guess. So, you know, I got the kill. I didn't post I stopped recording like halfway through. I was just like, nah, fuck this is too slow. But while she's here, I'll have a crack. I did waste a fair amount of ultrasight ammo with it, which is pretty good. Which is not good, actually. It's not very good. The shot was pretty good, though. So you gotta lead your targets a little bit, which, you know, adds a little bit of skill to it, but like I said before, when there's a bunch of weapons already hit scan, there's no reason to put yourself at a detriment shot like this. This is why I think that the crossbow is so good in Nuclear Winter, because it's actually got a little bit of skill value to it. And I have taken a dude with a handmade with a crossbow before, and it was the best feeling because, you know, they come in all guns blazing, their automatic rifle, and you can just go bang, 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 and they're dead. I mean, obviously having the 3 in the magazine before you have to reload, as unrealistic as it is, makes the thing a lot more viable and fun to use, but it's a real good close quarters weapon, that thing. Now, I did see some more Scorch Beast of particles over here, but I'm seeing no big-ass bat fly around, so I'm just going to get out of here before the Scorch Beast ghost kicks my ass. But honestly, I think you get the idea of this crossbow. It's pretty meh, despite it having pretty decent buffs, and the damage of this thing, you know, 564, and then Adrenaline dropped right away, so good timing on that. Limb damage. Now, well, it would have been under-leveled anyway, but yeah, it's pretty meh. It's just a crossbow. I wouldn't give these things the time of day, but there you have it. If you'd like to see this thing in your game for the novelty value, let me know. Probably going to script it. Thank you for watching, guys.